Start now.
Hello, I'm Christopher Ryan Strang. On May 8, 1980, the 33rd World Health Assembly announced that the disease nicknamed the Speckled Death had been eradicated. An event nearly 200 years in the making had finally been accomplished through worldwide vaccinations. Smallpox was no more. The story of the development of the smallpox vaccine not only demonstrates humanity's determination to persevere, but also highlights the life-changing benefits of vaccinations. With the reemergence of preventable diseases like the measles in New York City, it behooves us to examine our past accomplishments in vaccinating against diseases in order to prevent future outbreaks. To understand how important the smallpox vaccine was, we first need to know what smallpox is. Smallpox was a deadly contagious disease that had plagued humanity since the dawn of agriculture some 12,000 years ago. Smallpox was spread from person-to-person contact, with the early symptoms being high fever and fatigue that led into a characteristic rash on the face, arms, and legs. The rash then developed into pustules that would burst open, crust over, and fall off. Smallpox was fatal in up to 30% of cases and left the survivors permanently scarred and in some cases blind. Due to how dangerous smallpox was, it's no wonder that we've been trying to prevent it since antiquity. It was common knowledge that smallpox survivors became immune to repeated infection, so people began to purposely infect themselves in order to gain that immunity, an act known as either variolation or inoculation. Inoculated individuals developed mild symptoms associated with smallpox, but had a far lower mortality rate of 2 to 3% than if they had acquired it naturally. Inoculation likely developed in Africa, India, and China independently for thousands of years ago, but did not get the attention of Europeans until the early 18th century after Mary Worley Montagu witnessed it being performed in the Ottoman court in 1717. After she returned back to London in 1721 with this knowledge at hand, she then helped spread this method across Europe and the New World. While inoculation was successful in preventing smallpox, it was still not safe. The safe method was discovered by an English doctor named Edward Jenner in 1796 from a very unlikely place, milkmaids. He observed that milkmaids that had contracted a far less dangerous illness, cowpox, did not show any apparent symptoms of smallpox after being inoculated. After performing various experiments that proved that cowpox prevented the symptoms of smallpox from presenting after being inoculated, he published his results in his treatise on the origin of the vaccine inoculation in 1801. Afterwards, vaccination slowly replaced inoculation as the preferred method for preventing smallpox. By the mid-1960s, smallpox vaccination campaigns had eradicated smallpox in North America and Europe, and the World Health Organization began its intensified eradication program to eradicate smallpox worldwide in 1967. A decade later, the last confirmed case of the naturally occurring smallpox had been diagnosed. The CDC states that the eradication of smallpox is the biggest achievement in international world health, an achievement that we're still benefiting from to this day. Smallpox was a deadly disease that plagued us since the dawn of civilization, but through the tireless efforts of people fighting against the disease, we developed a vaccine to eradicate it from the world so that no future generation need to fear the speckled monster. By looking at our past achievements, we can learn to not be discouraged by the troubles that we have in preventing or curing other illnesses today, and keep advancing forward, knowing that one day our work will pay off and we can rid the world of one more illness. Many of us wouldn't be here today without the efforts of the men and women who fought to eradicate this disease, and we can never really pay them back. So instead, let's pay it forward. Let's see if we can eradicate another type of disease or find another cure. Let's see if we can slay our own speckled monster.